This week on Maker Update, rolling your own split flap display, the unholy union of Furby and Alexa, my search for the perfect resistor pack, customized fan grills, and a walnut box with a foam core secret. I'm Donald Bell and welcome to another Maker Update. I hope you're all doing amazing. I've been having a productive week, still continuing to work on my Power Racer for Maker Faire Bay Area. It's almost rolling. But I'm going to have to take a break because I'm on vacation next week, so no show next week, unfortunately, but I've got a great show for you today, so let's get into it with the project of the week. Check out this Arduino-driven split flap display by Scott Bez 1. Scott has an exhaustive build diary on Imgur that is the culmination of a 2.5-year obsession with building a split flap display from scratch. Each unit of the display is enclosed in laser-cut MDF and bolts together using a captive nut design. The gearing is also cut from the same MDF and can hold 40 flaps, allowing for letters, numbers, and some special characters. Each flap is hand cut from the same thin PVC used for ID cards. Scott cut each card in half using a jig and then notched them on the bottom using an ID badge punch. For the letters, he used adhesive vinyl letters and cut each one in half by hand, which he admits is a pain in the butt. Finally, to drive them, he's using a stepper motor for precise control and an infrared sensor to detect the home position of the gear, making it easier to calibrate. The code is all contained in a single Arduino file posted over on GitHub. Now, 3 quick things from this project worth filing in the back of your head. One is this 28BYJ48 stepper motor he used. Compared to a NEMA 17, these things are like $5, and you can drive them from just 5 volts. Second, the PVC ID cards he used are called CR80 PVC. On Amazon, I see you can get a pack of 100 for like $12. They're a uniform standard, and I feel like there's something cool you could do here. And then there's the vinyl letters. They come in black, red, and white, and for around $7, you get multiples of every letter and number you'd need. Those are now on my list. Finally, for another take on a DIY split flap display, check out Jon-A-Tron's version from 2016, which uses manual arcade button control and has a cool little animation loop. I'll include links to all these projects in the show notes. I have another project to share over on How Chew. Zach Levine shows off how he used a Pi Zero W board to put Alexa into a Furby. Zach does a great job explaining the crazy way the Furby is animated entirely from a single DC motor. He shows how using the Pi Zero, a speaker fat bonnet for sound output, USB mic for input, and an Adafruit motor driver breakout to trigger the motor, he was able to turn this creepy thing into an animatronic Alexa. 3 great contributions Zach makes here. One is the code required to force Amazon's Alexa voice service to work with the speaker fat bonnet. Another is an entirely separate guide on how to disassemble a Furby, because you just never know when that skill is going to come in handy. And the last is a separate guide on how to make a Raspberry Pi trigger a motor in response to audio input. Now that's a useful hack to know. It's time for another cool tools review. This time we're going to take a look at this resistor starter pack from Joe Knows Electronics. I got this for around $8 on Amazon, and it is one of the best resistor variety packs I've found for the price. And if you want to get this exact same one, you can use the Amazon link in the description, which helps support my videos and the Cool Tools blog. Resistors are a fundamental part of every electronics project. Paradoxically, they're both incredibly cheap and expensive because without fail, the specific resistor value you need for a project is the one you don't have. And if you don't have a place to pick them up locally, you're stuck paying $5 shipping for 25 cents worth of resistors. This variety pack from Joe Knows Electronics includes 400 quarter-watt, 5% precision resistors, exactly what you'd want from most breadboard and Arduino projects. You get 16 values from 10 ohms up to 1 mega ohm, all separately bagged and labeled. And if you have them out of the bag and get the values mixed up, there's a chart on the inside lid of the box to help you decipher the color codes. Now, this is not the cheapest or most complete resistor kit out there. I've been buying up a bunch of different kits in my quest for the ideal option, and I found that there are 3 main problems with most kits. The first is organization. Often you're going to have to pull everything out just to get at the value you need, but with the Joe Knows kit, you can flip through them like a card catalog. Second is color. Most of these other kits use blue resistors, which I personally find harder to read the value on. The old school beige color on the Joe Knows kit is easier to read, in my opinion. Finally, there's the stiffness of the lead. Aside from the Joe Knows kit, the resistors from every other kit I bought have these wimpy, weak leads that are so soft you can barely get them into a breadboard. If you're dropping these into a through-hole circuit board, who cares? But when you're prototyping, you need to be able to push these leads into Arduino headers and breadboards without them turning into jello. The leads on the Joe-Knows pack could be even stiffer for my taste, but they're noticeably better than any other one I tried. So that's the Joe-Knows resistor starter kit. I liked it so much that I bought the 860-piece kit they make, which has better precision and more values. But if I'm being picky, I actually prefer the classic beige of the cheaper starter pack, even if they're less precise. I'm sold on this brand though, and I'll also include links in the description to their capacitor kit and transistor kit in case you're at a point where you need to stock up. And remember, you can find thousands of reader-recommended tools like these at cool-tools.org. I have a few more tips to share this week over on Thingiverse. I'm digging on this collection of 3D printed grills for PC fans made by mightynozzle. There are a ton of different sizes and styles you can download, as well as an OpenSCAD file that you can customize on your own. Magpie number 67 is out and free to download. The feature section in this issue is retro computer emulation. And David Picciuto from the Make Something channel has this great video on cutting up foam core and walnut veneer to make what by all appearances looks like a hand-carved wooden box. I'm talking with David about this technique live on YouTube at 10 a.m. Pacific today, so check it out live if you can and join in on the chat. I'll also include a link here so you can watch it later. Maker fairs, we've got 2 this weekend, including Phnom Penh, Cambodia and St. Joseph, Missouri. I also want to let you know that early bird tickets for Maker Faire Bay Area are now for sale. And look who they've got on the ticket page. I've never felt so much love from a company who fired me, but I'm glad to have it, and you can bet I'll be there. It's happening May 19th and 20th, so get your discount tickets now and come say hello. All right, and that does it for this week's show. Be sure to subscribe, leave me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, get on the email list if you're not on the email list already. Get yourself a resistor variety pack because more resistors is great. And if you really got something out of this show, you can buy me a coffee using the Buy Me a Coffee link right down here. That feels great. All right, remember, no show next week, but you can always review an old episode. There's a lot of old ones in the can that are still awesome. And thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.